Hello dear viewer, it came to my attention that many crypto skeptics use Bitcoin's intrinsic value argument as a way to debate about Bitcoin's real value and applications. Today we are going to answer, does Bitcoin have intrinsic value? So let's begin. If you like value and want to get quality information, then do subscribe for the best cryptocurrency content. So now to answer the question of Bitcoin's true value, we have to talk about scarcity and utility, volatility, supply and demand structure, and examples of other assets like gold or silver so that we can establish the broader image of the true value rather than using the argument of physical versus digital. So in terms of scarcity, Bitcoin is the most successful in this category because the supply is capped at 21 million Bitcoins and this will never be changed, meaning that Bitcoin is more valuable due to its deflationary nature and increasing scarcity on exchanges that trade it and the rejection of most long-term holders to sell it regardless of price action. The utility of Bitcoin stems from it being used as a payment system and a store of value at the same time. The ability to use Bitcoin to pay for goods and services and the ability to trade it freely on an open market. However, due to higher transaction fees, new developments like the Lightning Network are being built and encourages users to support the new Bitcoin blockchain by allowing quicker and cheaper transactions. So expect in the near future you have the ability to buy a cup of coffee or order an item instantly. Before we continue, I became more active on Twitter recently, so please follow me on Bittruth BTC, links in the description. What about volatility? Well, even though the volatility surges during bullish market cycles and insane movements in Bitcoin's price in 24-hour periods, this has been on the decline in the last few years due to increasing market cap size of Bitcoin due to the entry of institutional investors and the adoption of governments of this new asset. Currently, it is agreed that the price of Bitcoin is too volatile to be used as a means of direct exchange without using a third party that ensures each party receives the correct amount of fiat and cryptocurrencies equally. It is projected to continue to decline since Bitcoin surpassed the $1 trillion market cap. Now, supply and demand is the building block of actual value. It can show how the world perceives assets and financial commodities. So Bitcoin's supply and demand is tied to the networking effect, meaning that as the number of users in the space increases, the number of Bitcoin decreases, driving the value upwards. However, like any financial market that goes through bullish and bearish cycles, shows that the Bitcoin market has been able to maintain supply and demand over the last 13 years despite of huge price movements, which proves that users have motives for buying and selling the asset. So now, before we talk about the real fundamental value of Bitcoin, let's talk a bit about gold. Both gold and Bitcoin share many similarities from an economic perspective. However, in terms of scarcity, we are not quite sure how much gold is exactly out there, but we only rely on central banks to tell us the real amount that is out there. So however, there is no real way to verify it than having information given to you, so it's a one-sided trust relationship. Also, according to the World Gold Council, industries use only 50% of all gold available. The majority goes to making jewelry, gold bars, coins. Gold's value exists because people perceive it as valuable, unless you count manufacture of electronics, which uses 7% or less annually of the gold budget per year, so not being that efficient in devices. Bitcoin's true value stems from the software that the currency runs on, and it is the blockchain where millions of people transact daily. Millions of Bitcoins move between addresses based on trust in the transparent system. Decentralized and distributed nature of Bitcoin shows that assets with time evolved from physical to digital with innovation and creativity. People who never used Bitcoin will never understand and will not understand the power of sending Bitcoins to an address somewhere in the world, no matter how far or close, day or night, sun or rain, holiday or work, as long as both sides are connected to an internet connection. In conclusion, regardless if you are a skeptic or an enthusiast of Bitcoin, one thing is for certain: the new system that people adopted, that is Bitcoin, is going to change the world's understanding of preserving wealth in the following decades, regardless of current market conditions, due to the trends showing that. But if you are still calling Bitcoin somehow not legit or a scam, or you're still a skeptic, you can always download a Bitcoin wallet, send $50 worth of it to anyone that you know, or use it to purchase goods and services, and maybe you will understand the real value behind it. If you stick to this long, I want to thank you and tell you that I'm very pleased to have you as a viewer, and hopefully in the future as a subscriber. If you have any questions or anything to add, then comment down below. I will be very thankful. Goodbye.